Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? You guys doing good too? I'm doing good too. Let's get today's video session. Here we go. Welcome back to Panasonic 3DO. Let's see if we make out this video today. Hey, here we go. Yeah, as always, rock and roll music on my channel. How do you guys like that? Cool, isn't it? So today we're going to be continuing with the Panasonic 3DO video game today. And in the previous video we were talking about the two differences between Panasonic and 3DO. There are two different companies, and also I taught a lot of different things about systems, the three models of Panasonic, and yeah, so on. So anyway, let's continue with today's video. Panasonic 3DO. That's what we're talking about here, aren't we? Right. The system had advanced features. Okay. It had double speed CD-ROM. Alright. Depends which model you're buying, because not all of them are double speed. You have to just check for yourself which one of these models were double speed, because some of them are double speed and not all of them are. Okay? So don't get too confused about that. Double speed CD-ROM drive. Okay? This can play CD plus Gs. Okay? Photo CDs. Normally this drive will play all these stuff, which to me is pretty advanced. Okay? It's really good, because I don't really think any system can actually do all that. Not back in that time anyway. Okay? And there was something else. You know what that was? Video CD. Let's explain just what video CDs are. Video CD is a format which plays in something like MPEG or something like that. It's not very clear quality. It's similar to DVD, but it doesn't operate the same way. So it's still, you can get these, there were movies, videos, whatever you call it, on VCD, and you can watch them on Panasonic 3DO. You can watch some films on there and stuff like that. That's pretty amazing. Because you know, this wasn't a DVD drive, because DVD drive wasn't available at that time anyway. So this was a CD-ROM drive doing all this, because video CDs were recorded on audio CDs. It's a CD-ROM, isn't it? It's not a DVD disc, is it? So bear that in mind. It's a CD-ROM disc which was recorded on an audio CD, something like 80 to 99 minutes maximum to watch your films per disc. So if there was like, the film was longer, it would be disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, disc 4, whatever. It was stuff like that. Very interesting indeed. I have to say that, very interesting. Video CD was also available on Sega Dreamcast as well. Yeah, it was on that as well. Because Sega Dreamcast had a CD-ROM drive as well. And in that you have to put a software in there and then swap it with your movie, and it plays it. And it came with a remote control as well. Okay. So on the Panasonic 3DO, to play video CD, you need a add-on MPEG video module, and it came with a remote control, I assume. I think it did. If you go on eBay and search for this video CD module for Panasonic 3D on eBay, you will be able to find it. Because last time I saw a package, I think it was a Japanese version or something like that. It came with this. So basically, this like you put an add-on on it, the side console or something like that. And in that module, I really like this because it's better than Dreamcast. I'll tell you why. Because in this module, there was a software inside it, installed in there. But on the Dreamcast, here's a disc. You have to keep on swapping with your movie. I thought it's a bit annoying. And also, it had CD music patterns. Okay? It did that as well. Very nice. You know, to play your music CDs, we'll show you some of these kind of patterns that you get in Windows 10. You will see all that, eh? And it was really, really nice. Very impressive indeed. Right. The Panasonic 3DO, right, can play all regions. So what I mean by this, you see, UK, US, Japanese, it plays a lot. Okay? And runs copy stuff as well. Okay? Runs copy CDs as well. There was nothing that could stop this. Really, really good. Very good feature, I would say. Okay? Japanese games can be played. Okay? On non-Japanese, right, games consoles. This is really interesting now. You need to know this. If you are a Japanese non-games console, you will come in some kind of problem. Okay? You want him to play some games. That's what I'm trying to say. You want him to play some. No, you want him to. Why is that? Because of, right, kanji font, which was not present, alright? Not present in the English language console firmware. That comes to UK models and stuff like that. That's what non-Japanese, isn't it? Because it's not a Japanese model. In Japanese model, it'll be fine. Because it had that kanji font in there. But in the other models like UK and US, it didn't have them. So some of these games ain't gonna work. Okay? Right. Let's go into a bit about audio and video. Okay? So there's various types how to get audio and video. RF switch, okay, is one of them. Used, if you got like old TVs, right, that doesn't give you direct video inputs, then you need to use this RF switch. Okay? Another one is composite RCA. The one with circles with 3 colors on there. You probably see that on your TVs at the side of the 3 little circles. Okay? Don't worry, you will know a bit more about this story right now. Which has one video, right, which is in yellow. Okay? Audio is in white and red. Why is there white and red? Why is it two of them? When there's two of them, you get stereo sound. If there's one of them, you get mono sound. Obviously, in the case of Panasonic 3DO connection, it's in stereo because you get two of them. Okay. Right. White and red ports. These are similar to VHS players, okay, which are outdated nowadays. They don't exist anymore. Now, the next one is S-Video. Right. S-Video gives you enhanced picture quality, okay, on more advanced televisions. It's a very good quality, by the way. Okay. The good thing about S-Video, right? Hold on. Yeah. The good thing about S-Video, it's a very high quality. It gives you great picture quality from the other two, which was the RF switch. That's by the far versus one other. The composite is still pretty good. I will give that one a medium setting, but the S-Video is the most enhanced for picture quality. Okay. Right, let's go more further now. Panasonic game controller has one port. I think I've covered this quite a few times now. Now, there's only one port on your console. And there's a port on the controller, isn't there? One on there. Right, because the port on the game controller, right at the top, which kind of, you take a tab off, that's the important part. Okay? You connect another game controller to that. Alright? For use for multiplayer games. Then the second controller has that. You put another one. Third one has that port again. Another one. You keep on carrying on like that. Okay? Might sound bizarre, but it's like that. A light gun. Just one released for the system. The only one. And used same, right? Designed as a Sega Mega CD. Okay? Looks like a revolver. Okay? There was a port on this, same as the Panasonic game controller, to connect another, right, gun for multiplayer games. Again, it carries on. I think because all in most majority is 2-player. You're not going to go more than 2 players on this. If there is, you carry on from 3rd player, 4th player, carries on. Okay? A mouse was released by Panasonic and Logitech. Okay? There weren't that many mouse games, but whatever games are available, you could use this mouse and give you this kind of experience. Just like your PCs. Very nice. A steering wheel was released by Home Arcade Systems and supports racing games. Okay. Now this one's going to be pretty interesting. It's got a lot of things on the system, don't it? But I gotta say that Panasonic 3DO karaoke mixer plays standard music CDs, right? And turns the vocals down. Plug in 1 or 2 microphones. Okay? And sing over there, right, music and it wasn't released in all markets. If you guys don't know what Croaky is a thing that you just plug in like a music CD, your music plays, and then if you know the lyrics, you could sing along with it. It's quite good fun, right? I don't think it recorded anything. Don't think it did anything of that nature. But it was really good fun, whatever it was. I don't think you ever got karaoke with any of the systems back in the time. A really good feature. Really good thing with the media. Right. So everything's kind of covered for Panasonic 3DO now. There's not much more to say about this system really. Right, let's go into this final part. The M2 was an add-on for the 3DO, and it used a Power PC, right, 602. For advanced 3D. Okay. Yeah, what I was saying, advanced 3D. Obviously, it was late in development, right? And it was cancelled because of that. It was bizarre, isn't it? That actually happened. The project and was sold to sold it the M2 technology to Matsushita. Who is this Matsushita, by the way? Who is he? This is the founder of Panasonic. Okay? Let's get something straight. M2 was a add-on for the 3DO. Now the Panasonic 3DO was a 32-bit game system, and the M2 was a 64-bit games console. But it was an add-on, wasn't it? But at a later stage, right, it was a separate games console. Okay? We're gonna go more into this M2 games console in a separate video, because we need to know, because a lot of people know, or they don't know, the 3DO company sold the M2 technology to Panasonic Matsushita. But what did Panasonic do with it? What happened? What happened afterwards? Because at the end of the day, 3DO cancelled the system, didn't they? Well, what would Panasonic do with that technology? What's it going to do with it though? That's the whole point here. Because if you look back from 1996, right? Because this project was cancelled in 1997, you see. 1997, it was gone. The whole project was finished. And it was sold to Panasonic Matsushita. Now the big question is, if from 1997 everything was closed down, what's been happening from 1997 to 2020? You'll be thinking that, what's Panasonic been doing with M2 technology? What's it doing with it? First of all, we all already know 3DO company are beanbags. They seriously are, aren't they? Look at the both concepts of these two systems. Now, I'm going to tell you something really important here. Now, both these systems were unsuccessful. What's the reason behind it? Because these silly 3DO company didn't know what they were doing. Really silly. Let's start with Panasonic 3DO first. Now, Panasonic 3DO was a 32-bit games console, multiplayer system. Okay? It was very powerful indeed. Okay? Now the competitors are Sega and Nintendo for Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo, aren't they? As I already told you many times in my previous videos, SNK need US, SNK need you CD, Atari Jaguar and Atari Jaguar CD. These were disastrous systems. They did really bad. So they're not competitors at all, are they? Panasonic 3D was a better position than them systems. Now the only problem was Sega Mega Drive Super Nintendo. Okay? If they pulled this off properly, Sega Mega Drive Super Nintendo would have been washed away really fast. You gotta think that a lot of people are making this crap up. They're saying that. I read some articles, right? I was reading some of these articles. I didn't agree with it. It says that when it was launched, there weren't many games on there on that day. Okay? And then, as they keep on producing games like every year, they still say there weren't enough games. That's a lot of nonsense. I don't think the number or quantity has got nothing to do with it. Okay? They got something to do with that. Because it's because of that. That can't be true. One thing, yeah, Panasonic 3D was a very powerful system. And each game that was getting produced on it, Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, doesn't even cut the mustard. They don't even look nothing like them. It doesn't matter what games they own, it doesn't matter. Did it even look like Panasonic 3DO graphics and gameplay? Of course not. They were nothing like that. These games were far better. Okay? I give all my support to Panasonic because Panasonic did a good job manufacturing this system and it's a great system. And what are these some articles are talking about? It doesn't work like that. Let's get back to the topic. You know, if you look at that 93, 94, that was the era of Sega Mega Drive Super Nintendo. 3DO company was wrong to release such a powerful system in them years when the era was for 16-bit games console and they were really popular. Obviously, they're going to have loads of games because they've been there from the 1990s. They were already there for 3 years. And what madness is this? Comparing that kind of quantity of games with this. Not even one game can compare with them. Even the offerings from SNK and Atari Jaguar, even they weren't good with Panasonic 3DO. No, they weren't good with them. Now, if you look at Sega Saturn, maybe most majority shined just from Sega developer themselves. I think that's the only part that will outclass the Panasonic 3DO. Otherwise, the Panasonic 3DO will be a better system than Sega Saturn as well. Yeah. Because there's a lot of exclusive games that the Panasonic 3DO owns that can be better than Sega Saturn games as well. Okay? And the Sony PlayStation as well. As I already mentioned to you, Sony PlayStation, the same games that appeared on Panasonic 3DO, their sequels that came on PlayStation, they were bad. They were terrible. Now the PlayStation only shined with the other developer games. Okay? These games like Register Type 4, Gran Turismo, Driver, Tekken, Time Crisis, and so on. Wipeout, okay, stuff like that. These kind of games that really shine on it, really. But my point is that same games that came on Panasonic 3DO, they weren't brilliant. Because I think majority of the Panasonic 3D games were pretty good. And we were hoping that these games will improve on Sega Saturn Sony PlayStation consoles, but they didn't. They didn't. This wasn't happening. Because then I really enjoyed some of these Panasonic 3D games. And they were really, really interesting. But nothing was working. Okay? As I said to you, 3DO company running a powerful console in the 16-bit era was wrong. But what about the Panasonic M2 add-on games console? What about that? What was wrong with that then? Now, there's one thing I can think of that. I think it was getting a bit too late, wasn't it? It's getting far too late. Because it went on to 1997, didn't it? I think immediately they knew the console to be released fast. You know, when the console Panasonic 3D was there, it should have released in that time. Now, they're saying that after 96, Panasonic 3D was kind of gone, yeah? Then M2 went towards 997, but the project was closed. And if they're trying to release that machine after 1997 and 1998, that would be pretty wrong. Because at that time, Nintendo 64 was coming out. Okay? And that would have caused some problems. Because same year, Nintendo 64 was coming out. So they had to release the Panasonic M2 before 997, I would say. Because I wasn't actually thinking about the Nintendo 64 much. But now I am. If they released this machine before, I think the best timing would have been 1996 for it. Something like that. It should have released 1 year before than the Nintendo 64. Then it would have been in a proper position to challenge it. But in a way, Panasonic thought it was a great threat because it was coming out, Nintendo 64 was. Okay? And that was a big problem there. I think Panasonic should have thought even more quicker than that. Because the Panasonic 3DO wasn't succeeding, right? But the 3DO company made a mistake, releasing the 16-bit era, right? Releasing the Panasonic M2 was a game from the 3DO company, wasn't it? And people probably wouldn't buy that anyway. Because already 3DO company was unsuccessful. And people knew the M2 is coming from the 3DO company as well. When people will know about that, they won't buy it, would they? So quickly, Panasonic should have thought that really fast. What was going on? I think Panasonic should have thought that in 1 year. When the system was out from 93 to 94, he quickly should have thought that the M2 is not useful. He should have created his own console. Okay? He shouldn't even think about M2. He shouldn't even thought about, and he shouldn't have even bought that system from 3DO company. I think that's kind of wrong. He shouldn't have even bought it. Quickly after 94, right? Approaching about 1995, just before 1995, I would say, he sort of thought of releasing his own Panasonic games console, which got nothing to do with 3DO company. If the 3DO games console was unsuccessful, there was no point taking interest in the M2 because it was from the same company name. They should abandon this project quickly. Panasonic should thought that really quickly. Okay? They should thought about this really quickly. If Panasonic wanted to see what the 3DO can do, Panasonic 3D could succeed on the market, that's the most important thing he should target it on. For at least between 93 to 95. If that's not working, then he should have made his own console and he should have competed with Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation. He should have done that. He should have released I would say he shouldn't have released it because that would be another mistake. Because 1995 was the era of 32-bit games consoles. Okay? I would assume that he should have waited. So he should have had plans for this machine to make it in 1995 and then release this console approximately in 1997 and 1998. So what am I getting on here? The M2, the Panasonic M2 was 64-bit, wasn't it? Instead of making a 64-bit, Panasonic should have released a 128-bit games console in 1997 and 1998. Remember? That's the same year, 1998, when Sega Dreamcast came out. That was 128-bit. That would have been a serious competition against that. Then we would have had 228-bit games consoles competing with each other. I think then the PlayStation thing would have washed away. Yeah. People wouldn't bother it. People would have got puzzled and gone, whoa, there's 228-bit games console on the market. It would have went towards that side. What was happening here? Sony PlayStation was already popular and Sega Dreamcast just came out on its own. And people weren't paying much attention to that games console. I think it would have paid more attention if Panasonic took part in it as well. Then the story would have been different, man. It would have been completely different to what we're thinking of. It should have been like that. I don't think Panasonic M2 should have been existed. Anyway, I mean, Panasonic should have bought it anyway of 3D company. I think Panasonic bought it of 3DO company because they were working alongside with 3DO company, you know, with the original FZ1, FZ10 and all that, them two models. And that's why he thought of buying the M2 off them as well. And you know what he was thinking? He bought the technology thinking of releasing a separate games console. He was thinking that. The whole idea of M2 is wrong. Yeah, because already we know the 3DO games console was unsuccessful. So there was no point even thinking of making an M2 a separate games console. As I always said that Panasonic should have had his own games console with 128-bit technology. This will be something special. He should have thought about this fast. Because Panasonic wasn't thinking anything of his own, was he? He was keep on thinking of 3DO company's strategies, wasn't he really? He wasn't thinking about anything by himself. And that's where Panasonic wasn't not very bright. he should make his own system, own hardware. And that's what he could have done in 1995, where he could have started the production of the system in 1995, and then he probably could have released it in 1997, 1998, and that would have been the right in timing, because as the Dreamcast was out at that time. He should have done that. He should completely ditched them too. Even if he brought people like some respect from the video company, he's working along something. But I think he should have thought something else on the other side, quickly. Should have thought that. Now the M2 is something different. Panasonic is a bit slow. We're going to cover this in our next video, because you don't know what's happening with the Panasonic M2 technology, what he bought to your company. What's going on? You see, no one knows what was going on. He could have bought that system, right? And he could have just leave it for something else. But at the end of the day, the M2, I'm not going to tell you everything in this video. M2, right now, the technology he bought of it is not a games console. No, it's not. It's used for something else. Can you see what's happening? If Panasonic did this way back in 1995, he would have had a quick stand of understanding that I could raise my own games console. But instead, he kept on thinking about the 3DO company. And he kept on believing in it. That's why Panasonic was making a big mistake. And now look at the state of the Panasonic company. They are the largest electronic company in the world, which is very, very amazing. But in terms of games console, they don't have any bright ideas. Do they really? If they planned it right, and they thought about it seriously, rather than keep on following the 3DO company, which was really silly, Panasonic has let himself down as well as a company. In terms, not as an electronic company, in terms of games consoles. If Panasonic will come back in games console, only time will tell. We exactly don't know. We'll see if he'll ever come back, or maybe, probably never. Nobody knows. Because he's probably very disappointed what the 3DO company's done with Panasonic twice. First, there is the 3DO games console FZ1, FZ10, unsuccessful. Then the add-on M2 game console is took part. Man, that did so well as well. Terrible. That didn't even come out to the public today. Even worse. See what happened? When you do silly things like that? 3DO company messed Panasonic twice, man. Terrible. Panasonic should be thinking better. They should know better. They're a big company, man. I can't believe it. They will fall for this American company called 3DO company, man. It's a great shame. I think they should have acted really quick, which Panasonic didn't. Eventually left with nothing. What a shame. So end of the day, I hope you guys like my video. I'm so happy that you guys must have enjoyed all my Panasonic 3DO videos. And this is the final part for Panasonic 3DO 32-bit games console, by the way. But I will make another part on Panasonic 3DO, which is based on Panasonic 3DO M2. Okay, that will be my next video. So watch out for that, and that will be pretty good fun. And we really gotta know when 3DO company sold it to Panasonic Matsushita, what happened? what do they do with that M2 technology? It's very important to know that. So anyway, hope you guys like my video for today. Give your likes, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.